Hello everyone, I welcome you all for TSAT TET coaching classes. In the earlier sessions, we have tried to discuss some important points about the parts of speech. We have completed the discussion about nouns, pronouns, verb, different types of nouns, different types of pronouns and different types of verbs. In this session, we are going to discuss something about adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions and interjections. Let us begin our discussion with adjectives. As you know, to talk and to write about a person, place or thing, you need nouns like girl, house or tree or something of the same sort. But to add descriptions to those nouns that give the reader a clear picture of what you mean, you add detailed words in front of the noun like little, blue, rich, old, fast, etc. etc. So, words that tell more about nouns or pronouns are called adjectives. Words that tell more about nouns or pronouns are called adjectives. An adjective is a word which describes or modifies a noun or pronoun. This is the basic definition of adjective. Words that tell more about nouns or pronouns are called adjectives. The other definition is an adjective is a word which describes or modifies a noun or pronoun. These are the two definitions which you can give it to this parts of speech called adjective. Then what do you mean by a modifier? A modifier is a word that limits, changes or alters the meaning of the other word. So, this is called a modifier. If that word limits, changes or alters the meaning of the other word, that is considered to be as a modifier. Therefore, an adjective limits, changes or alters the meaning of a noun or pronoun. These adjectives, how you will be able to identify them? They are usually placed before the noun. They are placed before the noun. Like some of the examples which are being given here for your reference. The white, puffy clouds, a happy, carefree child, some tall, stately trees, a rich dark chocolate, a rich dark chocolate layer cake, a rich dark chocolate layer cake, 5 huge leafy bushes, right. So, these are some of the examples which are going to modify the other words. See here, the white puffy clouds, how the clouds are? They are white and they are puffy, right. And a happy carefree child, how the child is a. In the earlier sessions, we have discussed something about nouns, pronouns, verbs, their different types and how they are supposed to be identified in the examination. And in this today's session, we are going to discuss something about adjectives, which is another important aspect of parts of speech. Adjectives are the words which are going to modify the nouns or pronouns. Because to talk or write about a person, place or thing, generally we use nouns, nouns like girls, houses or tree or something like that. But in order to explain in detail about these words, we need to have a detailed words in front of these nouns, like little girl, blue house, something like this. Okay. Now, we will come to the definition of this word called adjective. Words that tell more about nouns or pronouns are called adjectives. This is one definition. The second definition comes here. An adjective is a word which describes or modifies. These are the two terms which you are supposed to remember. Word, adjective is a word which describes or modifies a noun or pronoun. So, these two are the basic definitions. Now, we will go a little further about these adjectives. Now, in adjectives we use a word called modifier. Then what do you mean by this word called modifier? A modifier which modifies the other word in terms of its limits, in terms of its meaning change, or in terms of its alteration, right. So, if any modifier is doing these activities, limiting, changing, altering the meaning of the other words, these words are called as modifiers. So, what are these modifiers? They are none other than adjectives. These adjectives which limit, which change, which alter the meaning of the meaning of a noun or a pronoun called. See, you can see here in the definition, right. And these adjectives are usually placed before the noun. This point you should be able to remember. Adjectives are usually placed before the noun. See here some of the examples which are being given here for your reference. The white puffy clouds, a happy carefree child, some tall stately trees, a rich dark chocolate layer cake, a rich dark chocolate layer cake, 5 huge leafy bushes, 5 huge leafy bushes. So, in these 5 sentences, the white puffy is an adjective, a happy carefree is an adjective, some tall stately is an adjective, a rich dark chocolate layer is an adjective, 5 huge leafy is an adjective. Because these words are modifying clouds, child, trees, cake, bushes respectively, right. And if we go little further about adjectives, as we have already discussed, an adjective is a word that modifies a noun or pronoun. An adjective tells what kind, as in old man, new clothes, bad taste and cold day. An adjective tells how many, as in many days, few hours, a couple of dollars and 2 cities. An adjective tells which one are ones, as in those books, this restaurant, these computers, that building. So, that is how you should be able to identify the adjectives. Usually, generally, these adjectives come before nouns or pronouns, as we have discussed, right. Articles are also considered to be adjectives. A, an and the. These 3 articles are also called as adjectives, right. We get into little further about these adjectives. A sentence with a linking verb, we discussed about these linking verbs in the web section. A sentence with a linking verb uses adjectives like this in the following sentences. The trees were tall and stately. How the trees were? They are tall and stately. Then the clouds were white and puffy. In the earlier examples we have discussed about them, again we are trying to discuss about them. How the clouds were? They were white and puffy. I am happy about winning the lottery. I am happy about winning the lottery. This one. The councillors were very angry. The councillors were very angry. So, this were, am, very, these are considered to be as linking verbs, right. Then we have one type of adjectives called absolute adjectives. Okay. This is a list of absolute adjectives, examples of absolute adjectives. right. Still some words cannot be used in comparisons because of their meaning. So, words which cannot be used in comparisons are called as absolute adjectives. Complete, conclusive, eternal, final, immaculate, level, perfect, perpendicular, perpetual, right, round, spotless, square, supreme, unanimous, unique. So, these are the words which cannot be used to compare something else, considered to be as absolute adjectives. So, this is something about adjectives. Now, after the completion of the study of the adjectives, we will move on to the other parts of speech called adverbs, right. Adjectives modify nouns or pronouns, whereas these adverbs are going to modify the verb. Generally, these adverbs are going to convey us how the action is being taken place, the rate of action, how did the action happen, how did the action happen. So, these are the things which are generally indicated by the word called adverbs, which is also one of the important parts of speech, right. This is also considered to be as modifiers. This another type of describing word. This is also called as modifier, because adjectives modify nouns or pronouns, adverbs modify the verbs. These adverbs also limit, change or alter the other words, and those other words are nothing but verbs. So, verbs are being modified with the help of adverbs. So, this is the statement you can see on your screens. Adverbs modify verbs. Now, take a simple sentence here. He is driving. The sentence tells that how a person is performing an action. He is driving, that is it. If any adverb is added, you will find out how the rate of action is being taken place. How he is driving, where is he driving, or when he is driving. Now, look at these sentences. How is he driving? He is driving quickly. You can also mention he is driving slowly. Quickly, slowly. These are two adverbs you can make use of here. Where is he driving? He is driving away. When is he driving? He is driving now, right. So, now, away, quickly, slowly, all these words are considered to be adverbs, because these words are going to tell about the action which took place called driving, right. In such a way, you will be able to identify the verbs. Only one thing you should remember: adjectives modify nouns and pronouns, adverbs modify in general verbs, right. With these three examples, you can easily identify the adverbs in a sentence, right. And not only verbs, at times adverbs do modify adjectives. Sentences. In the following sentence, a noun sunset is described as beautiful. What part of this, what part of speech is the word beautiful, right. The compare saw a beautiful sunset. Beautiful is an adjective modifying the noun sunset. If you want to tell how beautiful it was, you can add something in front of the adjective, like in the following sentences, right. The compares saw a very beautiful the compares saw a very beautiful sunset. The compares saw a truly beautiful sunset. So, very, truly are considered to be as adverbs here. Adverbs modify adjectives. First one, adverbs modify verbs. Second one, adverbs modify adjectives. Look at this table. Here are some of the words that can be used as adverbs in front of adjectives. Extremely, somewhat, a little, completely, really, tremendously, particularly, especially, perfectly, unusually, right. So, these are some of the adverbs which you can make use of in front of the adjectives, right. You can see how an adjective is going to change as an adverb. Now, add ly. Bright, if you add ly, it is brightly. Easy, first you have to change this y to I. It is a word formation rule. So, add I and ly. Easily, soft, softly, full, fully, right. Careful, carefully, quick, quickly. So, this is something about how we can change adjectives into adverbs, right. Some words, you can see here, some words that may be adverbs or adjectives. Some words that may be adverbs or adjectives, right. I have given some examples here. Early, fast and late. The train arrived early. Here it is used in the sense of adverb. Here it is used in the sense of adverb. It was an early train. Here early is used in the sense of adjective. The train arrived early. In this sentence, early is used in the sense of adverb. Then it was an early train. In this sentence, early is used in the sense of adjective. Penny drives fast. This fast is used in the sense of adverb. Penny is a fast driver. Here the word fast is used in the sense of an adjective. A student is late. Adverb sense. There is a late student. Here the sense is adjective. Late is used with reference to an adjective. So, these are the three words which can be referred as adverbs and adjectives depending upon the given context in the sentence. Then with that, we will conclude the study of adverbs and we will move on to the other very important parts of speech called prepositions. Prepositions. What do you mean by prepositions? You can see here the definition of this word. Prepositions, parts of speech. Prepositions are joining words. Sometimes these are also called as connectives, which are used to show a time, place or ownership relation between two nouns, pronouns or a noun and a verb. So, this is what they are used to show a time, place or ownership relation between two nouns or two pronouns or a noun or a verb. Now, you look at this, the word called preposition. Pre means before, position means place. So, generally these prepositions are placed before nouns or pronouns. These prepositions are placed before nouns or pronouns. You can see this definition in the word itself, from the word itself. Pre means before, position means place. Placed before nouns or pronouns are called as prepositions. These are used to show the time, place, the ownership relation between two nouns or two pronouns or a noun or a verb. We have prepositional phrases also. You see, noun or pronoun, preposition plus noun or pronoun, we will have prepositional phrase. You see, with reference to time, after, this is called the preposition after with reference to time. Then noun or pronoun, the party. Now, we will have a prepositional phrase called after the party. With reference to place, under is a preposition of place, then the table. It is a noun. We will have, when we combine these two, we will have a prepositional phrase called under the table. Now, you see the ownership of our town. When you are going to combine them, join them, we will have another prepositional phrase called of our town. It is very easy to identify these prepositions in a sentence because these are placed before a noun or pronoun. Generally these are placed before a noun or pronoun. You see one particular context how it shows with reference to the preposition, right. The girl walked in the building, okay, this is the sentence. The girl walked through the building, through is a preposition here. The girl walked into the building, this conveys some meaning. The girl walked behind the building, this conveys some other meaning. The girl walked to the building, this conveys other meaning. The girl walked near the building, this sentence conveys a very different meaning. In these sentences above, all these prepositional phrases give more information about the verb walked by the telling where she walked. So, what is the relationship here in between the girl walked and the building? The girl walked and the building. In the first sentence, the girl walked through the building. In the second sentence, the girl walked into the building. In the third sentence, the girl walked behind the building, to the building, the next, beside, near, or something like that. The moment you are using a different preposition, the semantic implication of the sentence changes. The meaning of the sentence gets changed, right. In examination, you will come across these very frequently used prepositions in our day-to-day context, day-to-day situations. About, above, across, after, against, along, among, at, before, below, beneath, beside, between, beyond, by, down, during, except, for, from, in, inside, into, off, on, out, outside, over, past, since, through, toward, under, until, up, with, without, within. So, these are the very frequently used prepositions for your examination perspective, examination reference. Now, we will move on to the next parts of speech called conjunctions, right. These conjunctions are nothing but considered to be as connectives. The next parts of speech which we are going to discuss is conjunctions. These conjunctions are also called as joining words, and sometimes these are also called as connectives. A conjunction may join words, phrases and clauses. Not only this, these conjunctions are also used to connect these sentences also. So, that is the reason why we maintain the link between one sentence to the other, not losing the its gist or its meaning completely. So, conjunctions play a very important role in terms of our writing. Some of the examples which are being given here, the conjunctions which are very frequently used, and, as, because, but, for, just as, or, neither, nor, not only, so, whether, yet. Fanboys, there is a word called fanboys. With the help of this, you will be able to remember different conjunctions which are used very frequently. We are going to make a different session on correlative conjunctions, subordinate conjunctions, different types of conjunctions in the coming sessions. So, here you just understand the basic definition of the conjunctions and the frequently used conjunctions, right. In order to remember these conjunctions, you make sure that you remember the word called fanboys, okay, right. Then we will move on to the next one, the last parts of speech of our entire parts of speech discussion, that is interjections, right. So, what do you mean by an interjection? This is one of the most easiest parts of speech in the entire parts of speech, and it is very easy to be identified also, right. Interjection is a word or a group of words which which is used to express a strong feeling, very strong feeling, right. It can be an actual word or merely a sound and is followed by an exclamation mark or at times a comma also, right. Interjections not linked in any way to any other word in the sentence. These interjections are independent, right. So, you can see some of the examples which are being given here. Wow, oh no, never, fantastic, no, oh, ouch, fabulous, ah, wow, alas, something like this. So, these words which are very frequently used in our written discourses and oral discourses to explain, to express our sudden feeling. It can be a happy feeling or it can be a sad feeling or it can be a sudden surprise, right. So, with that we will try to conclude this study of the entire parts of speech. We are going to do one more session on conjunctions in detail. Thank you very much. All the best.